Hello, everyone. Good day. So today I am going to discuss the assigned topic to me, which is the traditional way or the traditional approaches in teaching anthropology. So of course, it shows how anthropology in education is being analyzed, and especially the traditional way of teaching. So first, we have here is the teacher-centered paradigm. So the teacher-centered paradigm, this explains that teacher is the main source of knowledge. So of course, from the word itself, teacher-centered, ang teacher is siya gid ang ginahalinan sa knowledge. Ang students are gina-expect lang nga to listen, take notes, and memorize information. But of course, the focus is on transferring knowledge from the teacher, halin sa teacher, to the students. And in also in this approach, students are passive learners. Mga passive lang diri ang mga students sa the teacher-centered, meaning they do not actively participate but only receive information. Unlike sa iban nga mga ways ng teaching, just like sa inquiry-based, kaya ang inquiry-based siya is asking question and answering question. So, ang teacher-centered ya is naga-focus ang sa teacher, which is naga-spread sang knowledge para sa ilang students. So the next one is the lecture method. So ang lecture method naman niya, common man ni siya, common teaching method man ni siya sa in terms ng teaching. So this shows that one teacher speaks to many students. Ang teacher is siya di ang center man kay siya mismo ang lecture. Of course, may mga advantages ni Manisa, and of course may disadvantages. And one of the advantage of this is it is efficient for teaching many topics. Of course, kung damo kaya topic, mas time consuming. So kung mag-lecture ka lang yung mag-lecture, mas madasig kay wala sang questioning nga nagkakatabo. And also, lessons are organized sa lecture method. Balaan mo kung paano mo kasunod. And also, introducing basic ideas. And of course, kung may advantages na may disadvantages man. And one of these is students become passive. So, ang mga students sa lecture method, passive lang ni sila. Kaya of course, napamati lang sila. Wala sang questioning nga nagkakatabo. So, that's the reason why nga kisa nga wala sila may matun-an, it is because nga ang mga questions nga dapat i-ask nila, hindi nila mapangamangkot. It's because nga lecture method lang gid. Ga-focus lang gid sa lecture, wala sang questioning nga nagkakatabo. And it also learning depends on memorization. So of course, kung hindi kaya sagad mag-memorize, wala ka sang may matun-an. Kay amo ni siya ang lecture method. And last one is there is a little interaction or discussion. So of course, amo na siya gani kay pure lecture lang gid sa wala sang interaction nga nagatabo. Wala sang just like sa ginaba ko, wala sang may question, and that's the reason why ko nga dali matapos ang isa ka topic. So lectures are effective but limit students engagement. That's the reason why nga ang kisa nga wala may matun-an ang students, it's because nga naga-focus lang kita sa lecture method. And the next one is the textbook-based learning. So ang textbook-based learning naman niya is through books and reading assignments. Ang students diri is nag-follow sang step-by-step nga process, which is the first one is to read, the second one is to understand, and the third one is to answer questions. And of course, may advantages and disadvantages man ang textbook-based learning. One of the advantages ng sini is to information is well organized. Of course, kay naga-base ikaw sa textbook or naga-base ikaw sa mga books lang, of course, organized gid dira ang mga information nga makuha nimo. And also, lessons are easy to follow. Of course, hapos man ni siya sundan ang mga lesson diri kay naka-organize na siya gani. And that also helps develop reading skills. Of course, kung textbook ka naman niya nga naga-base, sa books ka lang naga-base, mas dali ma-develop ang imo nga reading skills and ang imong reading comprehension. And of course, may disadvantages man isa. And one of this is not connected to real life situation. Of course, kung mabis ang kita sa libro and we do not look back sa aton nga mga experience sa life, because sometimes hindi kita maka-learn if ang lesson is hindi naton ma-relate sa aton nga real life situation. And also, information may become outdated. Of course, kay libro na siya sa tamaan kadugayon, sometimes ang inyong lesson is outdated na siya or hindi na siya updated. And also limits ang creativity and exploration. So of course kay nag-focus ang tagani sa books, wala gid sang creativity kag exploration nga nagakatabo. Though damo ka dira makita, um, still naga-focus ka lang dira gyapon, wala ikaw naga-explore. So the next one is the memorization and recitation. So ari naman niya, it focuses on learning by memorizing concepts and repeating them, especially sa mga test or sa mga assessment. So may advantages and disadvantages man ni. And ang mga advantages ni is that it helps students remember important concepts. Of course, kung sagad kaya mag-memorize, it's easy for you to understand ang mga question nga bato sa imo, and of course useful man ni siya for exams. Of course kung kabalo kaya mag-memorize, mas damo kami matun-an, and of course magamit mo gani siya in terms of your assessment, especially if may mga major exams ka mo. And also it also builds basic knowledge on. Of course may disadvantages man isa. First is to encourages rote learning, memorizing without understanding. Gina-memorize mo lang but you don't actually understand what you're reading. And of course, it weakens critical thinking. Ang critical thinking skills mo, mas naga-weak if naga-memorize ka lang. Of course, kung i-memorize mo yan, sulit-suliton mo lang na siya, wala mo na gina-understand. So, how can you think critically if gina-memorize mo lang? Kay mas stick na lang gina siya sa utok mo, kay na-memorize mo na gani. And it also does not help student understand real life situation deeply. So of course, kung gina-memorize mo lang gidya, hindi gidya ka understand student sa mga real life ng mga situation. Hindi mo gidya ma-apply sa real life nga situation kay that's memorization lang gani. Kag ang method nga ni is also useful for recall but not for deeper learning. So of course, dali ka lang gid maka-recall ya kay nasa ulo mo gani. And that's not enough para sa isa ka student nga i-memorize mo lang ang memorize and i-recite mo lang. That's why gina-encourage lang everyone to think critically. And the next one is the teacher questioning. Ang teacher questioning naman niya, it shows how teacher asks question to check students understand the lesson. Di rin mo naman mabalaan if ang student if may naiintindihan gid man or wala. Of course, kung hindi ka mag-question, hindi mo mabalaan if ang students may na-learn gid man from the certain topic na discuss mo or wala. And it also has its advantages. First one is to it checks students' learning. That's the reason why hambak ko gina. Teacher questioning is kung hindi ka mag-question, hindi gid maintindihan and hindi mo gid mabalaan if ang isa ka student mo may na-learn or wala. It's also encourage participation. Kay of course, kung gina-question mo yang imo student, may participation gid nga katabo. Kay there are moments nga wala hindi sila ka-answer but still may participation man gyapon, and it also reinforces lessons immediately. So may disadvantages man ni siya, focuses on correct answer only. So of course, kung mag-question ikaw, may ara kita subjective yung gitawag and objective. But it depends upon the teacher kung ang question niya is subjective or objective man. It also teacher controls the discussion. So sa diri is teacher mangyapon ang center, and it also limits open thinking and deeper discussion sa aton nga teacher questioning. And ang teacher questioning, yeah, it helps in assessment but still keeps control with the teacher. And the last one is the case studies from books. So ari naman niya, it talks about using case studies instead of real field work. diri gina-encourage naman niya ang mga students to learn about cultures through examples na makita nila sa books. And of course, may advantages man ni and disadvantages. First one is easy and affordable. Of course, kung mga case studies lang niya, damo ka man actually may makita ang mga case studies, especially sa mga library. And it also introduces different cultures. Of course, kung nagalagaw ka mo sa library, there are so many books there nga wherein maka-learn ka mo sa mga cultures sang iban. And it also safe and controlled for classroom use. And of course, for classroom purposes lang gini siya. And also, may disadvantages man isa. No real world experience, does not show real life complexity. And of course, a student may feel less engaged. Of course, sa diri nga part, sa case study, hindi ka naman ang students hindi naman ka-engage with mayo. It's because nga naga-focus ka lang gani sa mga case studies nga makita mo sa mga libro. And for the last slides is the foundation and the field, and or the conclusion of my report. So diri naman niya, it explains that traditional methods are good for building basic knowledge or be the foundation, but they are not enough to real life understanding. And also suggest here that modern and active learning methods are needed to connect classroom learning to our real life or real world experiences. Siguro effective gid if magamit kita sa mga modern way of teaching, just like inquiry method wherein naga-question ang students and the teacher will answer kay kisa may mga curiosity, may mga curious na student wherein nagasik sila answers sa mga questions nila, and that's will expand also their learning. And also this will make learning anthropology more meaningful and engaging if ang aton nga way of teaching is modern way. And though pwede ka nakatulo sa traditional way of teaching, but I think sa ako lang yang nga perspective, it is important also to teach our students modern way of teaching, especially we are now in 21st century. That's all for my report. I hope you learned something. Thank you.